Toy Chat is not a children's channel. This video is intended for adult gift givers and collectors. Hey guys, welcome to Toy Chat. This is Max.
And Sang.
And this is another episode of Collector's Corner, our podcast where we discuss hot topics in the doll and toy industry centered on some of our favorite brands. We were definitely not planning on doing another podcast this soon after the last one, but
there's some new doll leaks or drops that has happened, and someone in the comments of our last video mentioned that we missed talking about the new budget Shadow High dolls. They leaked a little while ago, and we talked about briefly that they were coming back, but there are promo images of these basic dolls or budget dolls that has been going around for quite a while now, so we didn't get a chance to talk about those.
We've heard some folks in different regions say these budget dolls have been available for a while now, but where we're based here in the US, we haven't seen them in person. Shadow High coming back at all is of course a big deal because in the initial days of the soft reboot, it was believed to potentially just be discontinued. And there's really the breaking news.
Yes.
The breaking news that we had to jump on ASAP is that finally, after rumors and hoping and discussing whispers, there are going to be Rainbow High collector dolls post soft reboot, but they are Shadow High dolls, which is really interesting that the first collector releases we're getting since the soft reboot is Shadow High.
We have discussed about in the past that there is enough space in the Rainbow High universe for both playline dolls as well as collector dolls or dolls geared for more fashion-oriented collectors. So I'm glad that they're finally starting to dip their toes into that.
Yes. So this discussion is going to be about those things exclusively. We're just going to be talking about the budget dolls and leaked collector dolls. We knew Shadow High budget dolls were coming prior to even seeing any pictures. Like quite a while ago, there were rumors and leaks that budget Shadow High dolls would be coming. There's now, promo images. You can order them right now in the US on Amazon, and the official Rainbow High social media has posted them. So they're completely out there. And we're going to be discussing the leaked collector Shadow High dolls of Heather and Shanelle. So we're going to start the conversation by sharing our thoughts, our first impressions on the Shadow High Series 1 budget dolls. So there are 4 in total, Natasha Zema, Heather Grayson, Luna Madison, and Shanelle Onyx. So all 4 of them are from the original Shadow High Series 1, which of course we reviewed when it first came out.
Mm-hmm. And we own all of the Shadow High characters since their launch, and we were very happy to be involved in the launch of Shadow High back in the day as well. But the budget line Series 1 includes 4 characters, the original lineup, wearing outfits that are very similar or homages to their signature looks.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll kind of overview like one by one, starting with Natasha. Natasha in particular has an outfit where it even kind of looks like some of the patterning on her outfit is identical to her original release.
It's kind of interesting because it seems like kind of like a mishmash of both her looks. It kind of has like a dressy kind of quality to the first look with like those, I don't know.
Her flapper look.
Flapper look. And then it has kind of like the 2-piece look of like that kind of Chanel look, the second look. The same pattern. It's the same kind of pearl pattern as her top.
Yeah.
And then they kind of added that fur trimming to the top that harkens back to her fur coat. I think the fabric quality is really nice. I wasn't expecting to see that quality. But again, this is on a limited articulation doll, which makes it not a purchase for me. Maybe for the outfit, since we do own the original doll, so the outfit's cute.
Yeah, so these dolls, by the way, are on Amazon right now anyway. Of course, every once in a while there's like slight variation retailer to retailer, but in the US on Amazon they are priced at $16.99. And they, of course, they're budget dolls. They do not come with stands, and they have very limited articulation, even more so than most of the other, like non-budget line soft reboot dolls. So they cannot move their elbows or wrists or knees or any of that. Shanelle is once again wearing something that looks really similar. It looks like the same.
It looks like it flipped. It got flipped.
Yeah.
So the skirt pattern, like the houndstooth print, is for her top this time, with that little bit of that pleather trimming from her skirt as like kind of like a draping.
It is literally just like a flipped look. Yeah, because like her jacket, her pleather jacket is now like a pleather bubble skirt.
Yeah.
I do like the bubble skirt. I know doll pleather is controversial. Doesn't tend to last. She's cute. I mean, again, it's nice to see that, this stuff and these characters are back. We're going to kind of run through individual thoughts, and then we'll kind of have a bit of a summary. So yeah, kind of just jumping next to Luna Madison. Really interestingly, I kind of feel like Luna, out of all of these, has maybe the most different-ish look from her signature, in part because there's definitely still very similar elements to her signature looks, and her very, like her original, wasn't it Mugler inspired? Like the Sailor Moon-esque Mugler, like metallic silver fit. We still get that in the skirt of this new piece, which I do like this fashion piece. It has the logo patterning that looks more like Dior, like the Dior logo patterning. It looks like it says shadow, or it seems similar to the Dior style, like the Dior monogram pattern or whatever. I am a fan of this fashion piece. I think it's an interesting, fashionable fashion piece. Once again, prefer the original, but
I think these are great addition pieces to your collection. Mm-hmm. But I think, definitely they are a step down from the original, but
yes. And then finally we have Heather Grayson. We loved Heather. Heather's great. She, to me, is the most way too similar to her signature look. It's
a very simplified version of her signature dress, which is unfortunate because like her original dress, which we were able to locate.
The variant version.
Yes. Yeah. And then we also own the retail version, and then this looks like an even more simplified version of that outfit.
Yeah, and her purse is cute.
Yeah.
I like her purse. And I'm wanting to say, didn't she originally have snake boots? In summary, these are budget dolls.
Yeah.
Of course, so they're cheaper than, mainline dolls and all that. I do feel like the act of releasing these at all and like bringing Shadow High back, of course, feels like a move to try to attract and appeal to original fans of the brand who really loved Shadow High. So from that perspective, very samey budget dolls are not what I personally would have wanted. So like these, I probably would not go out of my way to buy these because in pretty much the case of all four, I very much prefer the original signature release. These are definitely, of course, they're great alternatives if you were not able to access the original dolls. And if you don't want to break the bank, you want something more affordable, under $20 dolls that are not extraordinarily simple are very rare nowadays.
Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of the original 6. I love the black and white color scheme. So I'm glad to see them back. I wish they added new characters or gave us a little bit more of a stylized look, because these look like the same hairstyles from the original. So there's no really a means, like if you have the original, like there's no means, like why would you buy these?
No, I feel like there's no point at all in purchasing these. And also you're definitely getting a lessened version because of course for Heather's pigtails and Chanel's ponytail, you're missing out on the hair accessories that the signature came with, even though the hair is styled the same. So there's really no point in getting these dolls if you already have the originals, in my opinion. Seeing them come back just makes me want more Shadow High, and they are delivering. on that. So we're going to go ahead and jump to the bigger headline, which is, yes, there are finally going to be collector dolls from this brand coming soon. So these, at this time of recording, are a leak. The official social media has not posted them yet or announced them, but there are completely finalized promo images and everything out of them, including in box, which means they're going to be formally unveiled very soon.
Yeah.
At this point.
I do miss the days when they were really on top about social media reveals. The first sneak peek is always
very in tune with
Nowadays it's just randomly popping up online and you see them. But yeah, we do have Heather, Grayson, and Shanelle Onyx as the two collector dolls, and these are really reasonably priced. They are $29.99.
I was stunned when Sang said that to me. I'm like, oh my god, a steal by today's standards.
Yeah.
Especially because these dolls, in my opinion, would have been worth that a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
When a lot of Rainbow High and Shadow High dolls were pushing above $30.
Mm-hmm.
However, what we will say is that these dolls, from what I have heard, they don't come with stands.
Oh, yeah.
From what I have heard. So in the promo pictures, and so that little thing you see in the box is just a brush. Mm-hmm. So they come with a brush, and they do have bags, accessories, but yeah, they don't have stands. For collector dolls, I would have really appreciated a stand.
For sure.
But we definitely need to talk about these individually. So we'll start with Heather.
Heather's really cool. It looks like she has a new face sculpt or something that has been at least modified. She comes with a nose piercing, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was dope. I was really into that. It looks amazing and it feels very Shadow High. Big fan of that. I would argue that's one of the most the biggest selling points for her.
And I love her new hairstyle. I think it's very on theme with her, yet also different enough that you can tell that it's a different combination of hair colors.
Yeah, it's also really cool that, of course we got a representation of this in Heather's original hairdo, but I love the straight across the grayscale gradient across her bangs. I hope these will be available in stores. Right now, the only thing we know is that they're expected this year. So they will be expected to, within this year. It does still use that snakeskin pattern that we saw in her signature look, but I do like the new piece, kind of the bodice piece, and it looks it's connected to a much larger, I'm assuming this is all one piece. It's most likely all one piece. Yeah. But I do like the big train and kind of the little pleather flourishes. It is a fun outfit. And her bag, I like her bag. Her bag is fun. It's very snaky. I'm obsessed with the nose ring with this doll. I feel like that's definitely one of my favorite things about her. She also has rings that are really cute.
Yeah, that's probably new hand sculpts too.
Her little rings.
Yeah, everything about her looks really fun, and it definitely makes me happy to see this level of detail back. Her little corset piece is really cool. I'm very curious if the zippers... Probably it doesn't zip up. They're probably sewn on. Yeah, they're probably sewn on. There's a lot of detail. Yeah, there's a lot of detail in her outfit. And the layers of tulle, there's snake skin patterns on that as well. Big fan.
Also, oh my god, how have we not mentioned yet? These are the first, y'all, post soft reboot dolls from this brand to have wrist articulation. They have fulfilled the one and only biggest recurring big fan adult collector request.
Seriously. Honestly, if you guys want wrist articulations to come back, make sure to buy these.
Yes. So that's great. The price point is great. I will say the box looks a little...
Is this just the same coloring as the normal new Rainbow High packaging?
I was gonna say it's more Rainbow High than Shadow High. It would have been cool if they still did something different for the Shadow High characters.
Yeah, I missed kind of the glitchy kind of black and white effect.
And how they were like reverse of how stuff was structured in Rainbow High, yeah. And Shanelle. Shanelle was a massive standout of Series 1. She was maybe my favorite doll in Series 1. She looks great here. I will say I might need to see this look in full in person to fully like assess how I feel about it. I mean, in true Shanelle fashion, it feels classy, like very classy, elegant look.
It's preppy.
I was gonna say, like, it's giving, like, school. Yeah. A high fashion spin on, like, going to school. I mean, these are students, of course. You know, frankly, we're not watching the show anymore. I don't know what these characters are doing. They're flying around in little fairylands. Yeah. So as we assume they're still students. But yeah, I think the pattern on the, like, the knitted, like, crocheted looking portion,
the fabric,
the crocheted fabric over the body of the dress looks cute. The little like shadow kind of like, it looks like embroidery or something like that over it is.
It looks like chains from far away, but it does say shadow.
I would have liked if it was chains, but that would have been maybe more contrasting to the whole aesthetic. And then we have kind of just, you know, a standard like what looks like potentially a tulle or just like a kind of a sheer skirt coming out the bottom. What I will say is she has braids, and I am obsessed with her braids. I love a doll braid. I love her hair. I would absolutely say that's a big highlight of the doll. I really, really appreciate that these two dolls are giving us something different, in the dolls themselves from the signature releases.
Yeah. And I love her new makeup too. It's much more blue.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's very contrasting to her skin.
I do like her. I do.
Yeah. And her purse is very unique too. It's like a rolled up piece of newspaper.
Oh, I love her purse. Yeah. Her purse is great. I love
anti-sparkle.
It's cute. Like that one like pop of color too. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very pretty. She's very up my alley. Yeah, she looks like she's going to like Gossip Girl High or whatever.
It is very,
it's very preppy. Yeah.
Very preppy. Which I guess in a sense it's good then that these two are kind of paired together because Heather is very like edge. Kind of like goth grunge edge.
You know, honestly, I was expecting to use more contrasting colors. Like Shanelle is perfect, but Natasha would have been my other pick.
Oh yeah.
So you kind of had like the different sides of the spectrum of black and white.
Grayscale spectrum. Yeah.
So we do have to talk about the elephant in the room. We are missing one character, one female from the first wave of Shadow High, and that is Nicole. Nicole Steele is missing. Which is kind of a choice. I wonder why. She was very sporty in the original wave. Maybe she didn't sell well, or maybe the designers weren't inspired to include her, or her outfit was too detailed for the budget line.
It definitely seems like in the soft reboot, they're nixing stuff that they think is going to be less popular or that won't sell as well. Nicole Steele was very sporty. If y'all watched our review, you may remember she was my least favorite from the original line, of course. On the subject of like characters that don't sell as well, obviously there's also no Ash Silverstone. There's no boy in these new releases. I would have loved to have seen Ash come back, but yeah, male dolls never sell as well as female dolls and Playline.
There hasn't been a boy.
They don't really do boys anymore. Yeah. Rainbow High is done with boys, it feels like, which is really sad because I loved a lot of their boys. But, so, you know, hopefully we get more information on these soon, and this does mean that Shadow High is back, and that if they're doing collector dolls, that more collector dolls are coming and like things that the OG fans of the brand can enjoy. This is what we want. This is like what we've been waiting for. Give us more. Do we want to say like we're back? Like, you know, I'm like, I'm wanting to say I am cautiously optimistic. There's so much that has happened, I think, with this brand. Obviously, the original creator is no longer with the company. I think it would be difficult to bring this brand like exactly to where it was before because of a lot of different reasons. Of course, like the price points and the level of detail that those dolls offered and where the economy and market are currently at. A lot of things would be really challenging. But I mean, honestly, these dolls for $30 is great. Like,
yeah.
I would absolutely buy them. I wish they had stands, but you know, it's still, that's a great price point for like really detailed dolls.
It's a great value. I mean, we have seen even some of like the original collector dolls priced much more higher than these dolls.
Definitely let us know your thoughts on these. It's very exciting to see that, you know, maybe we can still be interested in this brand in the future.
Yeah.
How are y'all feeling about these? You know, do you feel like Rainbow High is back, or like are you still kind of waiting to see a little bit more? And hopefully we see these, you know, in stores and available soon. But thank you so much for joining us for this discussion. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.